good evening, wherever you are in the world today, and welcome back for again another week, another Sunday of spiritual time, and another lovely special guest, Lesley Allan. Thanks for coming on board, Lesley, and having a wee chat with us all today. It's exciting to have you here.
Thank you. It's exciting to be here.
She's in Spain. We have to manage to connect her with Spain.
So we're doing international now.
Brilliant, Lesley. It's great to see you, my chum. Great to see you.
Good to see you too as well.
So this week, guys, this is going to be an interesting week because we've got someone on board that we haven't really spoke about on Spiritual Time. She deals with a different side of spirituality. Would that be right, Lesley? Would you say? Yeah, okay. So it's something completely different, something completely unique, and it might interest you guys. I think it will definitely interest you guys. So Lesley, would you like to explain to everybody a little bit about your spiritual path, how you got onto your spiritual path, and what it is that you do now in helping the spiritual world?
Okay. So my name's Lesley Allan, and I have a page, you could say, Angels Whispers, and I'm dedicated to being an animal psychic and spiritual healer for animals.
Wow.
So cool.
So basically I connect with animals either in this world or in the spirit world and pass messages to their owners. So hopefully give benefit to the owners and the animals through that work. So maybe, as you say, Kerry, I can maybe recap how I got there.
Yeah.
So about 10 years ago, or just over 10 years ago, I met Gladys Sellar.
Oh,
So that would be the first step.
Right.
I met Gladys shortly after my dad had passed over to the spirit world and had some readings with Gladys with the intention of, or with the hope of contacting my dad. And that, of course, happened. So when strange messages started to come to me regarding not regarding animals, regarding everything, strange messages that I felt were coming from my dad, other family members, it was Gladys that I turned to try to figure out what was happening.
Okay.
So I'd already been to several psychics, but it was Gladys that I turned to try and make sense of this. So I had birds of prey near me at strange times. I remember 2 occasions of an owl flying along just right in front of my car windscreen. It had never happened to me in my life before, and then 2 times close together that had happened. Anyway, and I made an appointment with Gladys. Okay. And when I described to Gladys the things that had been happening and the messages I felt I was getting, Gladys explained to me it was just my spiritual development. It was just my time in life to open up to spirituality and to start getting messages.
Okay. Wow.
So, I mean, I could talk for a long time about this.
No, go for it. The world is your oyster.
So through Gladys and Gladys's spirit guide, I was guided to join a spiritual development class that Gladys was running.
Right, okay.
So it was going to be quite a few weeks after my appointment with Gladys that our sessions were starting. And she just advised me to have faith and trust that the messages I was getting were messages rather than that I was going crazy, just to trust what I was getting. So between the time that I spoke to Gladys about it and the spiritual development class beginning, I probably had already developed a bit further just by working on Gladys's advice. Okay. And trusting that these vivid dreams, images, etc., actually meant something, and weren't just imagination.
Okay. Wow.
So that's what brought me as far as a spiritual development class.
Okay. That's incredible.
I remember one particular thing was a vivid dream of an unusual coloured cat. And in my dream, I had picked up this cat, and the people around me were really shocked that I was able to do that, and were, in my dream, were confused and impressed that I picked up this wild cat. So I'd already had strange things happen, so I shared this with people at my work because I'd started to get such strong messages that I wanted to tell people so that when it came to pass, I had confirmation it wasn't just in my mind.
Yeah, okay.
Thereby I'd told people at work about this vivid dream, and then about 2 weeks after that, basically I was at a horse event, and in the porta cabin there was kittens that had been rescued from the grass verge, and one was this very unusual coloured cat that I'd dreamt about. And as with my dream, I was able to pick up the kitten, and the people around me were shocked or impressed, whatever you would like to say, were amazed that I was able to pick up the kitten. So thereby that came to pass. And that's one of the things that I told Gladys about as an example of odd things that had started to happen to me.
Okay, so how did it start developing? How did you know that you were definitely getting messages from these animals, and how did that all come into play?
That came within the spiritual development class.
Okay.
So anyone that's already done Gladys's classes will know that every week we worked on a different thing. So every week we worked on an aspect of spirituality, and Gladys would send us away with a bit of homework or advise that we practice whatever it was we'd been doing on the evening. And that's what I did. I was so keen that I was practicing big time. I couldn't wait for the next class to move on to something new and then practice with my friends that were interested. So that we got to maybe week 6 or 7. And
it was before week 6 and 7.
Sorry?
I says it was before week 6 and 7 when you were at a gymkhana.
No, I'll tell you what happened. So whatever week I was in the development class, I'd been out with one of my horses and taken her home and went out with the other one. And when I unloaded her from the trailer, I was just aware that she said to me, "I'm fed up you always hurrying me." And I think I said out loud, "Oh, I'm sorry, that won't happen again." But as it happened, I wasn't really aware that we'd just had a conversation. So I unloaded her, took her back to the field, and then was just puzzled, like, what happened there? We just had a conversation. So it wasn't until the following night when I went to get her from the field, her demeanour had changed. She was ready to speak to me. There was just, it's really hard to explain. I could just tell there was something very different going on.
Okay.
And she was ready to speak. So I put each of my 2 horses into their stables and stood with the one that had spoken to me. And a conversation just started. A silent conversation. So to anyone else standing there were no words. But there was a conversation between the 2 of us.
So it was like telepathic almost, yeah?
She's a coloured cob. And she said, "I was at Appleby." The words that came into my mind that I heard through my mind were I was in Appleby. So I know that Appleby Fair is somewhere that horses are traded. So she said, "I was in Appleby. It was really scary. They took me away from my foal and my big friend, and then I saw the big friend as being a big black cob." She said that an old man fed her and looked after her, but that a young girl with long brown wavy hair was the one that brushed her. And I could see these people as I was getting those messages and words. I could see what those people looked like.
Wow.
So the man looked as if he would have been grandfather of the girl that was brushing her. But now this is the point. It's a thought. Am I going completely crazy here? I had no contact with anyone else that something like this had happened to.
Yeah.
And I also had no way of confirming if what she'd told me was correct.
Right, okay.
I bought her from a dealer and knew nothing of, had no one to contact to see if it was true.
Okay.
If what she'd told me, nobody to verify it, that's what I mean.
Right.
Told me that she didn't like me taking her show jumping because she always disappointed me.
Oh.
Well, she would never ever disappoint me. Never could that horse disappoint me. However, I can see why a horse would feel that. Because any time she knocked down a pole, I would be, she would feel that disappointment.
Right.
I never showed to a show jumping competition after that. I never wanted her to feel that I was disappointed in her because I never ever would be.
Oh.
But whenever we did jump after that, but never in a competition.
Right, okay.
So that's how the messages really started. But as I say, I had nobody that could verify that.
Yeah, okay.
So I went to my other horse, who at the time would have been 4, I think. So I'd just started riding her.
Mm-hmm.
So I started to see if I could get a conversation with her. Now she's a bit stroppy. So what I tell you is just how it came to me. So I asked her various things. Asked her why she went a certain way. So when I was riding her, she kept like avoiding going into corners. So I was saying, have you got anything sore? Or why do you go like that? And I just heard, that's the way I want to go. And anyone that knows that horse, Angel, would be like, they would be able to say, yeah, that sounds just exactly like her. So then I thought I would ask some things about when she was a foal, some things that I could get verification whether it was accurate, because I still had this, are you going completely crazy feeling? I asked her what life was like when she was a foal, and I could see an unusual coloured foal. To be honest, now I can't remember. I think it was a dapple grey, but now I can't quite remember. But I saw a foal that she played with, a foal that was the same age as her. Just details about things around the place that she'd been born, and I knew the breeder. Okay. So that meant that I could get verification as to whether it was accurate messages I was getting.
Right, okay.
So I think I contacted Gladys before I contacted the breeder.
Right.
But I think I messaged Gladys and said, what's going on here? Am I going crazy? And Gladys said, you're getting messages from your animals. So I messaged the breeder of Angel and said that I had a horse psychic speak to her, and these were the things that she said. Could she verify that it was accurate? So she came back and verified that what I'd got was accurate.
Wow.
That's when I told her it was me. I didn't want to say it was me and then be told it was just a heap of nonsense.
Yeah.
So I waited until she told me that what I got was accurate, and then told that it was me. Okay. So she asked if I thought that I could do it with her horses, and I thought, right, we'll give it a try. So off I set to the yard where Angel was bred and started to see what I could get from the horses there. And the things I was getting, they were able to verify just as we went along that what I was getting was accurate.
That is mental.
See when Lesley came to the courses.
Yeah.
And that was happening. Everybody wanted to care who she'd been talking to as the weeks went on, because we were all interested. So we nicknamed her the Horse Whisperer, didn't we? We nicknamed you the Horse Whisperer. And that's what she was called for a while.
Yeah, that's incredible.
On reflection, before I even came to Gladys's course, I'd already said to a couple of people, I think I'm a horse psychic. And I was saying it half jokingly.
Yeah.
I didn't really want to believe it or couldn't believe it, but that's what I am.
That,
And it's all due to trust in yourself.
yeah,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
You trust it. You weren't trusting.
It could so easily just be blocked out.
yeah,
Now, on reflection, I could always get messages. As a small child, I had conversations with birds and other animals, but then I blocked it out
yeah,
because we're conditioned. We're
yeah,
conditioned through society, I guess, and through education that that's not possible. So it wasn't until the age of well into my 40s, through that experience and going to Gladys and the course, etc., that I think I really opened back up to the state that you're in as an innocent child. Sort of returning to that state of openness.
yeah. That's incredible. And it just goes to show the viewers that it doesn't necessarily have to be with like angels or speaking to spirit. Like I said last week on Spiritual Time, there's a huge playground out there. When you open up to your spirituality, when you open up to your intuition, there is a huge playground, and it's finding your forte. And like you said, like you reminisced to when you were a child, to when you spoke to animals. It's always been within you, if you know what I mean. And it's believing that. And our viewers out there, they're probably sitting there going, oh, I used to be good at this as a child, and I used to do this as a child. Well, guys, this is proof that whenever you're a child and you either have like what was I going to say, imaginary friend, or you used to hear things, see things, that is a part of you. That's a part of your spirituality, and it's opening up to that, and it's believing in yourself.
I completely agree with that, Terry.
Yeah,
definitely.
Gladys
it's
told
trusting
me.
in yourself.
yeah.
Gladys told me that everyone's psychic. And if I remember rightly, it was Gladys that made the comparison that everyone can draw, but not everyone's a great artist. And in the same way, everyone's psychic.
Yeah.
So when I'm doing animal readings, a lot of the time that what I tell people is what their own gut instinct was telling them. It's amazing how many people say, oh, that's what I thought. That's what, they already knew it in themselves. So if they trusted their own instinct or messages, they're just getting the same as me.
Yeah.
But then you're there to clarify, Lesley, what they are picking
Absolutely.
up.
Yeah.
Because that's what my job is. Half the time people will come to me for readings and things, and it's because they want something clarified. Yeah? So if I'm saying what they already know or they think, they're going away happy.
Yes, absolutely.
Deal with, you see, you know. But it's amazing to watch Lesley develop in the 10 weeks and what she could do. And then then people were sending you photographs. Remember, people would send you photographs, animals, and ask you to tell them about it on a photograph.
Yeah.
There's psychometry coming in.
And that's something I still do a lot, Gladys. So because I live in Spain and don't speak great Spanish, it's still English-speaking people that I'm doing animal readings for.
Okay.
So thereby, almost 100% of what I do is by distance. Okay. So I ask the client to send me a photograph of the animal. And basically, I just look at that before I start doing the reading. I look at it, I hold crystals, and I just feel a connection with that photo or with an animal through the photo.
Okay.
It can be any part of the animal. I always like to include the eye, but even if it's only the eye, just something to connect with the animal. And I just start to get that knowing feeling. Just knowing things about the horse's personality, or start to get pictures. I say horse, but it can be any animal.
Okay.
I just start to know things. So during the reading, I'm then asking the owner to verify as we go along that what I'm giving them is accurate. Okay. Once I know that what I'm getting is accurate, if it's things about their surroundings, about who they perceive as their best animal friend, that type of thing. The activities they enjoy, if they maybe they like jumping and they hate dressage, that type of thing. Once the owner can verify that that's accurate, I'll ask any question that they don't know the answer to.
Right, okay.
I don't go straight into it asking things that they don't know the answer. I like some kind of verification that there's accuracy before I give them information. I want them to be able to trust what they're getting, but I also still like to get some kind of verification to trust myself that it's accurate information.
It's accurate. Wow.
It's great, isn't it?
It's incredible.
And that's your psychometry. That's the psychometry side of spirituality coming out.
Yeah, definitely. So can I ask, see, you say that you can get messages from pets that have passed over. How does that work? How do you get the messages from the spirit animals?
It works in exactly the same way, Kerry. In fact, the energy to me now feels just the same whether the animal is in spirit or still living. The energy just feels the same. I ask people that want to contact an animal in spirit to let me know that it's in spirit, because it's the same thing I ask them for a photograph. And I have had an occasion that when somebody has not told me the animal's in spirit, I've believed that the animal's still living. And if it's still been having that same conversation. But basically it's the same. I feel a connection through the photo and I start to... I've asked questions, but the questions are coming into my mind at the same time as the answers. So the whole thing is a psychic conversation going on. But when I know the animals in the spirit world, I'll ask to be shown who the animal's with in the spirit world, so that I can give the person comfort to know who's around their horse or their dog. What I will see when I ask that question would normally be animals of the same species, but not always. So when I ask a dog to show who it's with in the spirit world, I might see human spirits that the dog's with, or I might see a horse that is connected with the same person. But it's intended as comfort for the person to know that their spirits are all linking up again.
Wow.
Sometimes I see incredible scenes, incredibly peaceful scenes that I can then describe to the person, like, oh, how I see the animal in the spirit world.
Okay. So is their spirit world like our spirit world? Is it all the same spirit world? Or do you know how, like, they say that animals go to like a different spirit world? Is it all the same? It's just to clarify for the viewers.
I couldn't say 100% for sure whether it's all one big spirit world. What I see is animals and people. So when I ask the animal who it's with in the spirit world, I will then see people in the spirit world. So there's a way for them to show themselves together.
That's right. That's how it's done. There's always a way that whatever your animal or your family member connects in with whoever it is, they all come together come time. They all meet up. All different generations, different kind people and everything. They're all related, so they'll all get together, and the animals do the same. They will go to, like, say, my lot would probably go to my mum, my dad, and God knows who else, like, you know. Okay? So yeah,
I think that's the most comforting thing about this work and having a connection is the thought that they're all there together, meeting up. When it's our turn, we will see them again as well. I think that's the biggest comfort it brings.
It is. And the thing is, and if you give comfort to somebody's, Ken, when you lose an animal, it's just like losing your own child.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
Apart, just because they've got 4 legs and they're a bit hairy or whatever, or fluffy or whatever way you want to put it, they're still part of your family.
Yeah.
And to know that they are another member of your family or another pet that's gone, and they've all met up, even if they didn't ken each other, it's so comforting. And to ken one day you'll all be back together. That's the best thing that any psychic or psychic medium can give to anybody they're reading for. That's the way I see it, anyway.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. It's just, it's truly amazing, you know, because people used to say, and Leslie's now proven it, people used to say, oh, but animals can go spirit. And I used to say, where the hell did they get to then? Because we've all got a spirit, animals got a spirit, and insects got a spirit, everything's got a spirit. We've all got a soul of some sort.
Yes.
So it's got to go somewhere. It just doesn't disappear. You know?
Yes.
The type of conversations between animal spirit, whether alive or in the spirit world, is to me just like a human conversation.
Okay.
One of my favourite things to ask an animal is, what was your especially a horse, what was your biggest achievement? So whether the horse is still alive or in spirit, it's such a lovely message to be able to give the owner what they saw as their greatest achievement.
Oh.
So if it's an animal that's been competing, I'll maybe see the colour of a rosette, a trophy, what the surroundings looked like. And likewise, if the animal's in spirit, you know, I would see a picture of the circumstance that I thought was the biggest achievement in life.
Wow.
It's great. It's so cool.
Yeah.
I'm quite sure there's people going to watch this and think, this is not for real, but this is, that is how it is.
No, I agree with you there. It definitely is, because sometimes, like, you just feel a connection with your animal. Like, my dog Pip, she goes everywhere with me. If I leave the car for 5 minutes, she cries. It's just like, oh, come on, Pip, I'm coming back. But she follows me everywhere. I wake up, her face is in front of me. It's just, she's like my little guardian angel.
Well, exactly. But Kerry, as you're saying that to me, I'm just thinking your dog's your familiar.
Uh-huh.
Oh, they look alike. They look alike.
Do
it? Well, no, to me, I feel that your dog is part of your spirituality. Oh. That's your little helper. You know, that's part of your team, is what I mean.
Yeah. Oh, she's very much part of my team. And this year, my 2 rabbits, sadly, were set on fire this year. So they escaped, and they were nursed back to health, and one of them passed away. So I was quite worried and concerned for the other rabbit, because she had been through a lot of trauma. She was still not out of the woods, and she just lost her sister that she was with all her life, if you know what I mean. So it was quite upsetting, it was quite traumatic for us, not let alone the rabbit. And Pip came along, and Pip has nursed her, and now she's dominating Pip. It's hilarious. She rules the roost with Pip. She chases Pip. Pip's like, my God, get off of me. She climbs Pip. She's just, and it's so lovely to see. But whenever I come near her, she bolts. And I was like, she doesn't like me. It's always because whenever I'm handling her, even when I'm handling her and I'm not doing anything to her, just like she gets anxious. I can feel it.
Yeah.
Like you can feel, if you're really connected with your pet, you can feel that connection. And she bolts every time I come near her, because I'm always like doing something to her eye, or I'm sorting her paws out, and she's lost all her toes. God love her. She's got no toes. It's just little stumps now that she's got, because the fire completely melted her claws. It was awful, absolutely awful. But she's good. She's in good spirits. She's ruling the roost. What a strong rabbit. If you know what I mean. She's incredible. Absolutely incredible.
But then Pipperoo has pulled her through.
Oh yeah, I believe Pip pulled Flopsy through. Oh, definitely. If it wasn't for Pip, and that's what I mean. Like you said, she's a part of my team, and she is a part of my team, because she was like, "Come on, Flopsy, come on, we need to get you through this." And if it wasn't for Pip, I don't think she would still be here.
I'm sure there's any pet lovers or pet owners that are watching this. I'm sure they're going to remember times with their own pet, whether it's a cat sitting in your lap or a dog coming to you. There's a connection there. If you're grieving for somebody or something, or anything's worrying you, you're speaking to your pet. You're sharing emotions the whole time. There's a closeness between a person and their pet that there's not between two people. Even if you're not saying the words out loud, you're telling that animal things that you wouldn't tell another human.
You're very right. And if
So for example, as you're stroking your dog, you're maybe thinking, oh, really, I'm at the end of my tether here, I need a bit of strength. You're telling your animals things the whole time.
That's right.
So they telepathically, not just through verbal. They can pick up your mind.
Oh, definitely. An animal will pick up how you are feeling so quickly. Like, it happened to me 3.5 years ago when my ex-husband walked out. I reckon if it hadn't been for Button and Buster, okay, I had my family around me. But when they were all away, they immediately just went up the stairs and sat on my bed as much as they right. Bed's empty now, we're in here. And I couldn't get rid of them if I tried.
Wow.
Because they have took over that role. Now here's me in the shanty today. I've got Buster sitting right up against my hip and Buttons at my feet. They do all the readings with me. Whatever is happening, they do all my readings. They're with me all the time. And they are my little helpers, just like Pip is for you. And your animals in Spain are the same. They're your little helpers as well.
And my ones here can be funny. It's like a clock system. If I'm doing an online reading and it's due to finish at a certain time, just at the time it's due to finish, that's when the animals get restless. They give me the time that I'm supposed to have, and then it's just like a clock telling me, oh, it must be time I was finishing off here.
Yeah.
Well, Button would do that. Button's good at that yet. She'll tell me when I read it's time to finish. She always does. Button will just get up and go to the door. As much as saying, get him out! Get him out! They just didn't understand me doing this on this one. They're used to having the people coming to me. So today, like a reading over the internet, and they're too sure about that. They've not got into that one yet, but they will. But no, Button tells me when it's time to finish as well. Buster doesn't.
Wow.
But no, animals are fabulous.
Okay.
Yeah.
So I'm curious. See animals. Like we can be reincarnated. Okay.
Yeah.
Animals be reincarnated. Can they have lived a human life and then live an animal life, or do they have past lives, or do you know anything like that, or?
I believe they're reincarnated for sure. They definitely come back and visit. So without doubt, they're watching over us just the same as human spirits do, and see what they come back to visit old chums and things. But I do believe that they're reincarnated. But it's my belief. I can't give you a definite answer. I don't know how anyone could until we're out to this world. I don't know how anyone can tell you for sure. So it's my belief that that animals and humans, spirits, change. Human to animal body, animal to human in their past lives and reincarnations. But that's just my personal beliefs.
Well, I agree with you, Lesley. I do believe that as well. But again, you just said it's got to be proved, and unless somebody comes back and says, oh, you ken I was your whatever, ken I was your cat at one time, did you ken that? Then that's only why you're going to get the proof. Or a cat says to you, I was your brother.
It's something I've never tried to explore. So until now, it's never something that I've thought of trying to get answers to. So that remains to be seen whether I ever do get an answer to that.
Okay. Interesting.
Lesley will try and work at it out for us and come back on another night and tell us all about it.
It is. I mean, it's always a question because, like I said to you on Spiritual Time, can you come back as an animal? Because I would love to come back as like an eagle or something, if you know what I mean. But like those animals fascinate me. Birds of prey. I just love birds of prey, and I would just, you'd be so free, and that makes sense. I would just love to come back.
Yes, absolutely.
Love to come back. So it's always like being a thought or a curiosity in my mind. Well, if you come back as spirit, like reincarnation, like past lives, etc., how does that work for the animal world? So that's always been such a subject that I've wanted to explore myself.
I wonder, I've never known anyone that, having had past life regression, to then say that they were an animal.
No,
I've never heard of that. However, can I suggest that someday you get somebody on here to speak about past life regression?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
And maybe you could ask them that same question, Kerry, and see if you get somebody with an experience of that.
Well, I've taken people back to past life regression, okay, because I have done it. And they've never mentioned animals right enough. And I've never thought of that. I've never twigged the two.
Because we done a
That's
video.
interesting.
Yeah, because we done a video not that long ago, and we did touch a little bit about past lives. It was Gladys that was speaking about past lives, etc. But it would be interesting to get somebody that actually specialises in past lives on board to talk a little bit more about it. So that's something we're going to have to do.
Yeah, we'll look into that one.
Yeah, so guys, if you're watching this, if it's something that you specialise in and you would like to come on and talk about it, send us an email. The email's in the link in the description of the video, and we will get you on Spiritual Time. The more people that we can get out to, that can get on board and talk about their spiritual experiences and help our viewers out there in developing their spirituality, hit us an email, because we'd love to have you on board to get talking about it. Definitely. So that's because we've been doing this for a wee while now. I think it's been well over 12 weeks now we've been doing Spiritual Time. And it's helping our viewers, Lesley, learn a little bit about themselves, learn about their spirituality, and becoming awake. Because throughout lifetime, like you said, we're conditioned, society conditions us, we lose who we actually are. And we are spiritual beings. And people will be like, you're nuts. It's like, no, we're not nuts. We're definitely not nuts.
No, definitely not.
The tide's turning. I'm sure the tide's turning.
Oh,
and there's less people think we're nuts, and there's more people coming our way.
There is. And you're right.
It's an absolutely amazing thing to open up to spirituality. So for me, I was in my 40s. So like I said, as a child, I think that I was an animal psychic then. But it wasn't until well into my 40s that I truly opened up to this. Mm-hmm. It's as if I lived much of my life with the curtains closed. It's like the true possibilities are immense compared with what I believed until this opening and development.
Mm-hmm.
If anyone else had told me 15 years ago what I've just told you, I wouldn't have believed them. I would not have believed that somebody could have a conversation with animals. And now it's me. So I was that skeptic.
Mm-hmm. So what advice, if you've like somebody sitting out there just now and they're watching this video and they're not really sure what they're meant to be doing, how to like follow their path, etc. And I'm asking everybody this that comes on, okay?
Yeah.
What advice would you give them in following their spiritual path?
I guess I would have to say the same as I've heard Gladys say to many people before. It's trust what you're getting.
Mm-hmm.
It's to me, it's all about trust.
Yes.
trust in the messages that you're getting. I've had the most bizarre messages and like almost tried to shut them out because they were so bizarre. But when I trust them and share them with somebody that actually means something to them. So Gladys always said during the development classes, give what you get. So trust what you're getting and give what you get. That's really the message there. The give what you get. There's times that I get something and I think, oh, that means something. And I give it an interpretation. And when I give it an interpretation, it's wrong. And if I just gave what I got, that's what the person needs.
That's right. And that's the thing. You cannot put yourself into it. When you're doing a reading, and it doesn't matter who it's for, animal, human, whatever, you've got to take yourself out of it and just let it flow and trust. And I never can. I've seen people say, "Oh, I didn't care. I don't think that's right." And unless my guides tell me to change it, I do not change it. Just for them, I want to do it. I've got it the way I've got it. I give it that way. Because sometimes it's down the line. It could be days, weeks later, and then a penny drops, and it makes sense to what that person was given. You know?
I think that's what tends to happen with me as well. If I find somebody's being negative, I like say something, oh, that's not right. They do come back later and say, you were right. Or that message wasn't right. I think that all that we as psychics can do, or the messengers, if you like, the ones passing on the message, is be honest. I feel if I'm being absolutely honest, then no can never be the answer. If I say, well, what I see is, or what I hear is, or what I feel is, then I'm always right because I'm being truthful.
That's right.
So
you've got to
nobody can say that's not right, because whatever I've said is the truth, it is right.
But you'll also find when people come and want information from you, from a reading, they've got a thing stuck in here. You know, they've got what they want you to say. And if you're not saying it, they didn't believe.
Yeah. And that's why I always say when you go to a psychic medium, go with an open mind.
Right.
Don't go expecting to receive an answer for something, because when you do that, you're not going to take anything in from the reading. You're not going to resonate with the reading. You're not going to believe anything, and you're going to leave disappointed. And it's the same, because there could be a very important message in that reading for you, and you've gone in with this closed book mind. You're adamant you're getting this message that grandpa or grandma or dad or mum's going to come through and give you this message, and they don't. And then you leave that reading and you leave really disappointed.
Well, that is why at the beginning of every reading that I do, I will say to that person, look, if spirit want to come through, they'll come through. But if you're looking for somebody really special, give me the name, let's see if I can work on it. But I can't guarantee they'll come through.
Yeah.
And you can't. We cannot guarantee that person or that animal to come through.
Yeah.
It's just not our place.
It's not our place. We're the piggy in the middle.
Yes.
We're the piggy in the middle. You know? And like when I get animals coming through, I love it. I absolutely love animals coming through, Ken. And it's great, and especially for the person's not expecting an animal to come through to them. And some of them will say, oh, I didn't expect that. Oh, that's brilliant, Ken. And
it's the opposite for me, Gladys, because when I get a person, whoever's asked for the reading is looking for an animal, and then if I get a person, they're surprised.
That's because we did the opposite way I did it, you see. We work opposite to each other.
That's because a couple of weeks ago, one of my relatives came through, and I was just sitting watching TV, having a cuppa, and I looked up and I was like, oh, hello. And it was a nice surprise. And then I looked down and I seen their animal beside them, and I went, am I seeing things? Did that animal pass? So I confirmed with someone, did such and such pass over? oh yeah, such and such did pass over a couple of years ago. And I didn't have a clue, but I could see the dog with him, and I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know. Hello. I was like so excited to see. If you know what I mean, it was so nice, and I could tell it was that animal because this animal had a particular type of tail. And I was like, oh my God, I didn't even know the animal had passed over. I don't want to mention any names, but I didn't even know the animal had passed over, and it was just lovely. If you know what I mean, it's like, oh yeah, and I knew it was definitely him. If you know what I mean, I wasn't going crazy or losing my marbles. It was definitely a relative of mine that had come through just to check in on me and make sure I'm behaving. I'm only joking, but it's wonderful. I mean, honestly, guys, if you really want to develop your spirituality, give Gladys a shout, because we've got people on Spiritual Time that their journey has started off with Gladys. And Gladys will help and guide you and aid you. She has all my life. She's been my major spiritual guide, haven't you?
You got me crying.
She's guided me through hard times, good times. I know I'm even crying as well. But when you meet Gladys, you'll always have a friend in Gladys, guys. And you really, if you're struggling with your spirituality, you're struggling where your path is going, give Gladys a shout. Definitely give Gladys a shout, because she'll help you. And it's a lovely and wonderful and amazing that Lesley has now joined this amazing path of the spiritual realm, and she's helping animals. I mean, we always forget, we think it's just spirit, but we forget that it's actually animals too. And to have you in the world and you sharing your light with animals is just absolutely magnificent. Magnificent, because you're very rare. You're very, very rare, and you're very unique. And it's just lovely that we've got someone out there that can connect with our spiritual animals. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing.
I feel totally blessed to have been given this gift. There's no other words I can use to say that I'm grateful. Just grateful and blessed.
But the thing is, that's it. You've just got to be grateful for what you've been given. Mm-hmm. You know,
yeah.
I'm the same. I am so grateful for being able to help you, and to help as many. Well, we reckon I have got on my diaries, and I am going to work this out. How much people I've actually put through a class, and I think it's HN for around about the 200 mark.
Yeah.
Aye. Oh God, look at me, and I love it. I absolutely love it, because when you see, like Lesley, when you were in your group, you see everybody's on a different level. Nobody's the same, which I think is brilliant, right? Because you all work off of each other's energy, and you pull each other through. But to watch at the end of the 10 weeks, and then to see us all going out and do all your bits and pieces, it's amazing, you know? And I was so proud.
I just want to share something, Gladys. When I was at that stage, I started getting the messages from my own horses in the am I going crazy stage. So Gladys obviously reassured me I wasn't going crazy. That's by Gladys's standards. I contacted a couple of animal psychics looking for moral support or mentorship or something, and I was very disappointed to get no response. No. So I have since had people come to me like I went to Gladys, and I would always be there for them the same as Gladys was there for me. I would never want anyone to feel that the door had been shut or like it had gone to a closed door. So I would try to share what Gladys has given me. If that makes sense.
Wow, see, and that's a part of
want to like to be treated.
Yeah, and it's always that. What's the words I'm looking for? It's not a responsibility. It's that gift, sharing your gift with other people, helping other people, and it's removing that ego, because we've all got something special within us. Every single person, 7.7 billion people on this planet, all have that something special inside them. And it's helping that people. It's not, oh wow, look at me. It's not our egos, guys. It's not your egos. Yes, you can do something wonderful, but it's not about you. It's about the whole collective, the whole consciousness, the whole world being as one, the spirit animal world being as one. We're all one. One. So
One.
if you can help someone out there, help them. If you can guide someone out there, guide them. If you come across this video, we're trying to help you and reach that path. So if there's somebody out there that does speak to animals, Lesley, do you have a website? Is there a way that viewers watching this can get readings from you or contact you? Or
I don't have a website. I do the whole lot through Facebook. So I have a Facebook page that's Angels Whispers, Horse Psychic and Animal Healer.
Right.
There are other Angels Whispers pages have started up after mine, but mine is specifically Angels Whispers, Horse Psychic and Animal Healer.
Right. Okay, perfect. So what I'll do, guys, is I'll leave the link for that Facebook page in the description of this video. I will leave that link and make sure it works, because unfortunately Yaz's links didn't work. I have no idea, so I corrected that. So if you are watching the links from last week's video, you can click on them now. But this video, I'll make sure it's the correct link, and you can go and have a look at Lesley's Facebook page, and you can connect with Lesley, even if you're just needing a little bit of guidance and speak to your animal. So on that topic, if somebody, how would you say would be the best way in connecting with your animal, like your dog, for instance? If I wanted to talk to Pip, how would I do that?
Right, and you would sit with your animal and just let your mind go quiet. Meditate with your dog. Or, well, I'm saying dog, whatever the animal is. Meditate with your dog and just let the messages come.
Okay, wow.
Just put your own mind at peace. And in fact, try it very shortly, Kerry, and let us know, let us know at your next spiritual time how you've got on with that.
Oh, I'll probably get a rollicking from her. She is very much, she's cheeky. Oh, she's a cheeky dog.
I think if you just follow the same advice, the trusting what you get, and just knowing it's possible. And I feel quite confident that you will get messages.
Yeah, no, I believe I will, because on the weekend there, I don't know what came over me. I just had to sit down beside Flopsy. Now, normally she bolts, and my hand was red hot. And she's got a wee problem with her eye at the moment. So I just put my hand and I could feel the heat just pass through me into her, and she was so calm. And I was like, this is incredible for Flopsy. Like, she normally bolts whenever she sees me. She just sat there and she fell asleep with my hand over her, and her eyes looking a little bit better.
That's a healing, you see. You were just getting her some spiritual healing. You know? And animals know about spiritual healing. They sense a spiritual healer quicker than you will.
Yeah.
I think the animals still have that innocence I described as a child, where we as humans get it conditioned out of us. So in some ways, to be an animal psychic, in some ways, maybe more natural than being a human psychic. Their channel's open. It's us believing that it's open is the thing that maybe makes what I do more rare than other aspects of psychic development.
Yeah.
Wow. But you do a wonderful job. This is the thing. You do a wonderful job. And it's amazing. Oh, I'm just amazed at how far you've come and what you can do. And now you're in Spain. You'll have to learn Spanish so you can work with the Spanish animals, you know.
Yeah, but although I can work with Spanish animals, language is not a barrier for the animals. It's a barrier for communicating with the people, passing on the messages. And I have done readings for animals in places that they wouldn't have heard English, but the messages that are transmitted to me, coming in pictures and words, are in a way that I can understand them.
Brilliant. Oh, where's Pip coming?
Hold on. Let me see if I can. Pip, come here.
No.
She's like,
No,
nope.
Buster.
Oh, doesn't she want to say hello?
Pip, come here. No, she's not having it. She's just looking at me as if to say, stuff you.
Buster at the door now looking for Pip.
Oh, shame. Pip's their buddy. Pip, come here, look. Pip, come here. That's like, get up. Come here. You want to come and say hello? Hold on 2 seconds, guys. There she is.
Right.
No.
There's my little buffet dog. Pip, look.
Can you hear my voice?
She's needing her haircut desperately, aren't you? Look at her. Hey, you might get your haircut this week.
She doesn't look abused.
No, she's like, what are you doing to me, Mum?
No, I don't want my haircut, thank you. I quite like it like this.
That was just saying. Hey, my little Buddha dog. Right, you're going down. You going down. Kisses? Okay, go on then. Down you go. Oh. She's some dog. She is. She's some dog. She sits at the bottom of the gate every day and she waits for the old couple. Because our garden backs onto another garden. And there's an old couple in there. And she'll sit and she'll wait. And she'll wait, and she'll stare them down in their porch or whatever, because she catches glimpses of them, and she'll just give them the puppy eyes, and then they'll come running out with 2 dog treats for her. And she'll get her dog treats, and when they walk away, she barks as if to say, no, I want more. She's so cheeky, it's unbelievable. And even they've said they've seen her sitting watching them whilst they've been in their little porch, and she sits and barks until she gets their attention. It's hilarious.
I bet they absolutely love it. I bet they love that excuse to come along and give her a dog treat.
Oh, I definitely. But I need to keep an eye on her because she's getting bigger. She's getting bigger. It's like I'll be able to roll her up the garden soon. She's something else, is Pip. Absolutely. She must get 10 treats a day.
The thing is, to have an animal, doesn't matter what kind of animal, even a goldfish in your home, it's special. You know, it doesn't matter what kind of animal it is, you know. They're all special, okay? When I had my budgies and the lovebirds and all that, I loved them. You know? Yeah, we used to have so much fun with them. Yeah. But hey, well, things change and things move on and whatnot. But your pets are always with you.
Oh, yeah, they're so special.
And even near the start of this journey for me, I did a tarantula reading.
Oh, wow!
Once I started doing online readings, I was basically pushing it just to see how much I could do and you know what animals I could read. So I've read many different things: lizard, alpaca, sheep, goat, you name it. But a tarantula is one of my favourite.
Wow!
So that was one of the early ones.
So why? So how did that work? This is because like spiders, I used to be terrified of spiders, but now I feel like they're a spirit animal. They come and talk to me all the time. It's mental. I can't, like, they climb on me and stuff, and it's like, where did you come from? It's nuts. So how did that work? Because this is really like.
It just worked the same as all others. I got a photo of the tarantula, and then just gave what I got. So what I got was the things about the tank, the layout of the tank that the spider was in, the layout of the room and location of the tank that the spider was in, the positioning of a book about looking after tarantulas. Those were the things that I got.
Wow!
If I remember rightly, she was called Samantha.
That's incredible. So there's a question that's popping through me to ask you. Has any animal given you any knowledge about the universe or knowledge about life for humans or anything like that? Have they ever came through and said, "This is the scoop, Lesley, and this is how this works"? Not yet. Not yet.
Not yet.
No, I've had lots of things about the life of their owner, either while they were with them or after the animals passed to spirit and the owner's still in the world, but no answers to big questions. Not the big things that we don't know about.
Okay. Wow.
Oh, well, you just never know. That might come yet, Lesley.
That might come.
Well, I got a psychic message for myself the other day, and the message was something big's away to happen. Well, maybe that something big is getting some of the answers that you're asking now.
You just never know. You just never know.
Wow. Oh, I'm excited.
Kerry will be coming to Spain shortly. She'll be
hola. Señor Lesley. I will be coming with my sangria. Hello. You'll be like, "Oh no, she's here. She's here. Run. I'm joking. No, I'm not.
Welcome. Did I look scared?
No, that's okay. I think anybody else would run a mile, but hey, I'm not as eccentric as I come across. I'm definitely not. I'm unique.
Really?
No, I'm unique.
You're definitely unique, Kerry.
We're all unique. You see, in our own little crazy way, we're all unique.
You definitely are. Have you enjoyed this, Lesley?
Yes, it's been great. Thank you. It's been great. Just wondering if I'd share some funny stories that I've got from animals over the past.
Give us a couple of funny stories, sister.
Yes, we want to hear your funny stories.
Well, some of them are funny and some of them are not. I'll just recount something that just happened within the last couple of weeks. Doing readings for horses in America. So 2 horses, well, in fact, 4 horses for the same owner over 2 different weeks. And in asking them for messages about their care, because the owner wanted confirmation, were they happy with the care she was providing for them. In both weeks, different horses drew my attention to neighbouring horses. So ones that didn't belong to the same owner, but that they felt the care was not as it should be.
Oh.
So that happened in the two readings a week apart. But that's encouraged the lady to get help for those animals.
Oh.
She came back and told me that she'd taken action. So I feel that those animals used their connection with me to try and get help for others.
Wow.
That's amazing.
Yeah, so that's just a recent example. But as regards funny things, one of my early readings was for a little show pony, a little Welsh sectiony show pony. So on it, trying to make a conversation out of it and make it entertaining for the person who was having the reading, silently asked the pony what it liked best about show days. And I could see the pony in the queue for the chip van. So I said to the owner, what this pony likes best about going to shows is the food van. And she says, "Oh yeah, I always take him in the queue and he gets chips." So that really amused me. That's what the pony liked best about show days. And a more recent one was asking a dog about things it liked about its owner. So first I asked about the owner, and then she asked me to ask about her partner. So when I asked about the owner, the dog liked that she didn't shut the toilet door. Because the dog followed her, the dog went everywhere with her. So that's what the dog liked, it didn't get shut out.
Oh.
And on asking about the partner, enjoyed that he was a messy eater. Because, of course, the dog got the crumbs.
That sounds a bit tip, if I'm honest.
There's just so many things that, you know, that made me smile over the years. I've never finished a reading without having something different that I didn't have before, and it putting a smile on my face. Even the sad ones, there's been a couple of people that reason for having a reading is it's been time to let the animal go. And there's things that they've wanted to say before it's time to part. So even in that terribly sad times, there's a happy side to it. I mean, what a blessing for me to be able to help somebody at the saddest of times you could have, and able to help them part. You know, help their lives go in different directions, or their spirits go in different directions.
Aww.
That's a true blessing you've got there. That's a true
Very
blessing.
special. Yeah.
Very special.
Very, very special. Because I've always loved animals. I won't even hurt an animal. When, like, a fly or a spider, I never, ever hurt spiders.
It's like me now. I'm covered in mosquito bites and so uncomfortable. But what do I do about it? You know, I can use repellent, but I don't want to kill. You know, I feel like
kill an insect. Oh my goodness, I can't get my words out. An insect, I will not kill them. I will not kill any living creature. Just will not. Nope, just won't, because we're all part of one. And if you kill an animal, you're killing yourself. You're killing a part of your soul. That's what I believe.
No, I always take my spiders and I put them outside.
Yeah, I always speak to them and say, off you go now, you're free. We're not, because I try and say to the girls, don't be scared of spiders. They're more scared of you than you are scared of them.
That's right.
And they're like, oh. So now I've got them scooping up spiders and putting them outside. And I think it's lovely, because if anybody tells me they hoover up spiders or they stomp them, I'm horrified. I'm like, oh, no, don't do that. And they're like, why? I was like, it's part of the universe. And then it's like, oh, there she goes. She's off again. Mary, she's crazy.
No, you're not.
I was just scared about my dad, that he was the saviour of spiders. So I would never, I couldn't pick them up myself and put them out. I would have to use something to put them in, but I would never kill a spider. But partly because I do have a fear of spiders, but partly because my dad was the saviour of spiders. I feel now I need to be the saviour of spiders.
But this is it, like, I'll pick them up. I couldn't do something else. I kind of just have them in my hand. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
maybe a tissue or something, and gently take them outside, Ken. And I usually put them on top of the bin, because the dogs, when I get because they can't, I've got something in my hand.
Yeah.
It's a chance before the buster gets them. But then that's nature for animals, you see. It's just a thing that they've got into them, you know. My thing is I love springtime. But because we've got a lot of nests in our hedge, we've got a lot of fledglings.
Okay.
But she goes for them. When they're learning to fly.
Oh.
They didn't care what to do. Oh my! But this year we've only had one. She's getting too old now. She can't catch them, which is good.
Oh.
But I would be screaming. I'd be screaming to get that bird away. Okay?
Yeah.
But she's just doing what a Jack Russell does.
Yeah, that's what their DNA.
She's just doing what she wants to do, Ken. I just go mental.
An animal that I've never, a species that I've never had anything to do with in reality is guinea pigs. So a few weeks ago, somebody asked me to do a reading to contact a guinea pig in the spirit world. And I realised that I'd never actually had any contact with guinea pigs in the past. So even as a child, I never had any friends with a guinea pig. But wow, what great personalities. So in the spirit world, there's this lovely guinea pig. He kept the reading going. He brought the other animals for the woman that was having the reading. It was great. So I feel it at this stage. So still have never held a guinea pig, but now I feel I know what guinea pig personalities are like.
Oh, they're
contact in the spirit world.
Oh, they're funny. They're really funny animals. I love guinea pigs.
So excited. He's so excited to take contact with the owner and to be the spirit responsible for go and get another one.
Wow.
That's brilliant.
That is.
I was describing him as Dennis, the game show host, because that's what he was like. He was all business and go and doing this thing and coming with another animal spirit for me.
Wow. So what would you say has been the best spirit animal that you've dealt with? Like what sort of
I guess the ones I've done most readings for would be horses.
Mm-hmm.
Because I've advertised myself as a horse psychic, it has been more horses than anything else. So I suppose I've contacted more horses, then dogs, then cats, and then other animals as well. But I couldn't really say that any particular one stands out as being the best.
Mm-hmm.
They're all very special for different reasons, and each one very different from the last.
Wow.
So I'm afraid there's no one stands out as being the best. Yeah.
That's awesome. I think that's.
I'll always remember the first one. The first animal I ever in spirit that I ever contacted was a pony called Crofty, whose owner's up in Shetland, and that'll always be special because that was the first one.
Yeah. Wow.
I think she'd asked me online whether I could do it, and I didn't know whether I could or not. I just said I would try, and that's when I found out I could.
Wow.
Yeah. It's truly an amazing gift you've got. Mm-hmm. And as I said earlier on, I'm glad to have been at the beginning of it all and seen all the flourish and what can happen with spirit animals. Because as we say, we've all got our own little section, niche, that's the word, Kerry, niche that we deal with, you know. And you kind of, this has been absolutely ace today.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely ace. You know, even more animals getting in and reacting all, okay? But that's okay. Okay? But I think this might be about time, is it, Kerry?
Yes, it's about time to wrap up spiritual time.
Lesley.
Well, I've loved the energy of the three of us together.
Yes, it's been great energy. It's been great energy. Absolutely amazing.
For the viewers, in case Kerry wonders what the noise is, we have had really torrential rain during this recording. In case you're hearing it on the top of the shanty, I don't care if you'll pick it up, but just in case it's bucket and rain in Aberdeenshire.
It's beautiful sunshine in Peterhead.
And it's beautiful sunshine in Estepona and Costa del Sol.
Hello.
Lesley, maybe next year when flights and that are back, Kerry and I'll come over for a visit.
Mm-hmm. That would be lovely.
Did you hear that?
No. I'm smiling as if I did, but I didn't.
I says, everything goes back to normal next year with more flights. Kerry and I are coming to see you.
Yeah, brilliant. Yes, that's a good idea.
Yeah, we'd love to come and see you.
We'll do spiritual time from the sitting in the sun on the terrace.
Yes! With our sangria and our bikinis. Hola!
Yeah, spiritual time from the pool.
How spiritual can you be underwater, Doink?
Anyway, it's time to say bye-bye.
Yes.
I can't speak Spanish, so I'm even going to try it. But for now, Lesley, thank you so much, honey, for joining us today.
Thank you very much for coming on board and sharing your wonderful spiritual path.
Thank you for inviting me, ladies.
No,
You're most welcome.
A pleasure. And I'll just have to say my little spiel to everybody. So guys, remember, if you're watching this video, to leave us a comment, to click like and subscribe. And you'll find the description for Lesley's Facebook page, a link for Lesley's Facebook page in the description of this video. And also, if you want to come on board and join Gladys's psychic development classes, There's also going to be a link to her email that you can email us and let us know, and we can send you the information and how you can do that. And also, one last thing, do not forget, guys, to, what is it, Gladys?
Ring that bell! Ring that bell! Ring that bell! Ding dong, ding dong, ding dong!
So don't forget to ring that bell, guys. And again, thank you so much for watching us this week. We appreciate your time. We appreciate your energy, and we love you all so very much. So have
Bye!
a everyone.
Thanks, Lesley!
Bye, Lesley.